Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. NHK reports that U.S. President Donald Trump is scheduled to hold a summit meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping this week in Beijing. Trump, who is expected to arrive in the Chinese capital on the evening of May 13th for talks on the 14th, stated that he would exchange views with Xi on the evolving situation in Iran and issues related to energy procurement. Speaking to reporters at the White House on May 11th, Trump mentioned that while President Xi might proactively raise the Taiwan issue, they would definitely discuss energy and Iran. Trump emphasized China's significant crude oil imports through the Strait of Hormuz, indicating his expectation for China to play a role in addressing the Iran situation. Additionally, Trump confirmed that other topics, including the response to the 20-year imprisonment of Hong Kong's Apple Daily founder Jimmy Lai for violating the national security law, and U.S. arms sales to Taiwan, would also be on the agenda for their discussion. Thai Sounds reports on the escalating covert competition between the United States and China, as highlighted by recent cases of alleged Chinese espionage dodge of Finstickspit Corps, Gold the Pakra $. One incident involved a commercial consultant identified as Chris Chen, who offered $10,000 to a U.S. Congressional assistant for sensitive information regarding U.S. policy towards China, particularly on trade and national security. The assistant reported the suspicious offer, leading to an FBI investigation which revealed the consultant's company was likely fake. Furthermore, a Chinese engineer, Song Wu, allegedly impersonated U.S. researchers for 5 years to acquire sensitive defense software related to advanced missile and weapon systems, reportedly on behalf of China's Aviation Industry Corporation, AVIC. Wu is currently a fugitive. Most notably, Harvard's top scientist, Charles Lieber, renowned for his brain-computer interface research, was convicted for his undeclared involvement in China's Thousand Talents plan. Despite his conviction, Lieber was later found to have relocated to Shenzhen, China in April 2025 to lead the Smart Brain Center at the Shenzhen Institute of Medical Science, sparking criticism over perceived failures in the U.S. system to control sensitive technology. The United States government has imposed sanctions on 3 Iranian individuals and 9 overseas companies, accusing them of facilitating Iran's oil sales to China on behalf of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. According to Lianhe Zapot, 4 of the sanctioned companies are registered in Hong Kong, 4 in the United Arab Emirates, and 1 in Oman. The U.S. Treasury Department stated that the Revolutionary Guard relies on shell companies in loosely regulated jurisdictions to conceal its role in oil sales and funnel proceeds to the Iranian regime. This action, a continuation of previous sanctions, aims to disrupt the financial networks used by the Iranian regime for its weapons programs, proxy terrorist organizations, and nuclear ambitions. The Treasury Secretary emphasized the U.S. commitment to cutting off these financial lifelines. Iran's primary oil buyer is China, which is also Tehran's largest trade partner. The U.S. State Department also offered a reward of up to $15 million for intelligence to disrupt the Revolutionary Guard's financial mechanisms. This move comes ahead of President Trump's visit to Beijing to discuss trade and potentially press China to pressure Tehran on reopening the Strait of Hormuz. The article also notes that Iran has deployed miniature submarines in the Strait of Hormuz as stealth guardians following stalled peace talks with the U.S. More than 2,000 American scientists have collectively written to the U.S. Congress, stating that the Trump administration's dissolution of the entire National Science Board, NSB, last month has undermined the United States' capacity to compete with rivals such as China. According to Lincher Hutsabao, the NSB, the statutory governing body of the National Science Foundation, NSF, is composed of 25 presidential appointees with 6-year terms. It is responsible for setting NSF policy, approving major research grants, and advising the President and Congress on science and engineering policies. The news of the NSB's full disbandment sparked concerns within the academic community regarding the independence of U.S. scientific research. The open letter from the scientists condemned the White House's action as sudden and expressed deep disappointment, emphasizing that it exacerbates worries about America's fundamental and applied research capabilities and its global competitiveness, particularly given China's increasing investment in research and development. A White House official, however, stated that the NSB's powers might need updating and that the NSF's work remains unaffected. According to the Liberty Times, the United States is currently engaged in discussions with Denmark regarding the establishment of 3 military bases in Greenland. These proposed bases would be designated as U.S. territory, a development that could realize former President Trump's previous ambition to claim ownership of the island. In January, Trump had publicly stated that the U.S. should possess Greenland to prevent potential influence from Russia or China. While Denmark firmly rejected the idea of ceding Greenland, it had expressed willingness to discuss increasing the U.S. military presence on the island. White House officials have indicated optimism about the ongoing negotiations, and the Danish Foreign Ministry has confirmed high-level talks. Though specific details remain undisclosed, the planned bases are strategically located in southern Greenland, intended to monitor Russian and Chinese activities in the North Atlantic region, specifically the waters between Greenland, Iceland, and the United Kingdom. As of now, no definitive agreement has been reached, and the final number of bases could still be subject to change. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.